Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Game 3 of the NBA Finals tips off right here in Indy tonight. And the excitement is just boiling over as the Pacers will be back on the court. And for the first time this series, they're going to play at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Every little run, the crowd going gets hype. You get hype with the crowd. You feed off the energy, makes it tough for them.
The blue and gold got out of Oklahoma City with the series tied at 1-1. And that's not a bad place to be for the Pacers. But the Thunder did not get to the NBA Finals by accident. They finished the regular season with the best record in the NBA. But the Pacers have not lost back-to-back games since March. And the players know they have an advantage playing at home in Indy.
Yeah. We back home, got our fans now, and we just got to put the other games behind us. Those are over with, and we just got to learn from those games and get better for Game 3.
I would say just having the fans, like our game is not going to, be anything different. We have to be out there and we have to be relentless. We have to have an edge to start the game, and I think the fans are going to help us.
Yes, we are. Tyrese Halliburton had a tough time finding his groove during the Pacers' Game 2 loss. In fact, we actually saw him limping when he was leaving the arena in OKC. He said that he's dealing with, quote, a lower leg thing, but he did not elaborate. But don't worry, he says that he'll be fine and good to go tonight, which is always good news. Yes. And as many people prepare to come downtown, we are learning that this weekend southbound I-65 closures have been postponed. NDOT confirming all southbound and northbound lanes will remain open between 465 and the South Split. And we're working to learn, though, when those closures may actually take effect. We will have all your Pacers coverage leading up to tonight's game, including what kind of temperatures you should dress for if you're heading out to root for the blue and gold tonight. As fans, we know we have to do our part.
Yep.
Okay?
You do.
We're not going to show up short on that at all.
But I think you're also going to need to realize it's going to be warm today. It's going to be warm today, and even through the evening, we're going to start to see the temperatures warm up even during the overnights.
Rob, you sound like that's going to be a problem.
I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. Good news is the weather's pattern is quiet. We're expecting plenty of sunshine. One thing I want to talk about, though, that is going to impact you over the next couple of days, and that's a little bit of that wildfire smoke and haze in the atmosphere. It's not a lot of it out there right now, but we could see some of that come and go. Temperatures are currently into the mid to upper 70s, depending on where you are. These temperatures are going to continue warming up pretty quickly, and I think with clear skies, because there's really nothing moving our way, I expect our pattern to stay pretty quiet. It's just a numbers game. It's just watching the temperatures. 80s by midday into the afternoon. I think once we get into the early afternoon, we'll be looking at low to mid 80s depending on where you are. There is a little bit of that wildfire haze from Canada that we're expecting to impact our forecast through this afternoon, maybe even into the evening. It's going to stay hazy and warm. I'll do 83 for the high, but some of you could be into the mid 80s by the afternoon, maybe 85 or 86. Overnight tonight, mostly clear skies. We'll drop down into the low 60s. The humidity hasn't really climbed back up just yet, but over the next couple of days, we'll start to see that happen. Tomorrow getting even warmer, going into the mid 80s, maybe a little bit more cloud cover. That's a sign of some of that humidity that's on the way back in. That may translate into some rain chances later in the forecast. Coming up, I'm going to talk about those rain chances, what you can expect as we get closer and closer to the weekend coming up.
All right. Thanks, Rob. And this afternoon, Indy Mayor Joe Hoget is under fire receiving resignation calls. But he tells 13 News he has no intention of stepping down from his position despite calls for him to resign.
I hold myself to the highest of those standards. And if there are ways that I need to be adjusting, I will do so accordingly.
Controversy surrounding Mayor Hoget's office for months. Multiple women are alleging that Hoget's former chief of staff and campaign manager Thomas Cook sexually harassed them. One of the accusers, Lauren Roberts, had to be removed from a city-county council meeting Monday night as the council considered a request to cover the final cost of an independent investigation into those allegations. The mayor called what happened at the meeting.
Stop touching me! Stop touching me!
Do
not touch! What is wrong with you? What is stopping?
He says he was watching remotely and the independent investigation determined the mayor and his administration did not violate any laws. Now, both Roberts and a second accuser, Carolyn Ellert, recently told the Indy Star the final report did not include text exchanges with the mayor they said made them uncomfortable. They say they turned those messages over to investigators. Our Emily Longnecker spoke with the mayor about this, and he says he does not deny sending them.
Do you think it's appropriate for the mayor of the largest city in this state, with all of the issues going on, recovering from COVID, potholes, budget, what do you do in texting a subordinate about poetry?
Well, Ms. Ellard at the time, if I remember correctly, was the executive director of the Marion County Democratic Party, and as such, she was an advisor to me and a very a familiar voice and a familiar face to the campaign that I was conducting at the time. And so it would not be unusual at all for me to, again, I understand how people might view the 24-hour world of political campaigns to be certainly absurd to them, but it's not when you're involved. And again, I want to reiterate, it was never my intent to make anyone feel uncomfortable.
Now, 3 city county councilors are pushing Hoget to resign, and those include Republican Josh Bain and Democrats Jesse Brown and Andy Nielsen. But again, Hoget is rejecting those calls. Now, we did reach out to the Marion County Sheriff's Office about the removal of Lauren Roberts from last night's City County Council meeting. The Sheriff's Office provided a statement. Here's what it says in part. Deputy sheriffs followed our well-established protocol, acting on the direction of the council president, who is elected by fellow council members representing all citizens of Marion County. On to more news now. A bold new plan to tackle chronic homelessness in Indianapolis is underway, and the goal is to move thousands of people off the streets and into housing by 2028. The multi-phase initiative starts with housing 350 people in the next year, housing 350 people. So the plan includes more than $8 million for housing services coordinated by the Coalition for Homelessness Intervention and Prevention, or they call it CHIP. The city's goal is rapid rehousing, case management, and long-term prevention. But people who have experienced homelessness say they need real-time results.
They say that, but that's just to make it look good, because you're not actually physically helping people. It's almost if it's that they shun you off. I would like to see you come down from your office and come out here and spend a day with the homeless and see what it's like in the life of a homeless person.
The city says this is just the beginning. Future phases will expand support to people in shelters and focus on long-term prevention. The first housing placements are expected to start later this summer. And we got some more sports news now. Last night was not a good one for the Indiana Fever. They actually lost to Atlanta 77-58. Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark did not play because of injuries, and the hope is at least one of them could be ready to play by Saturday. Now, as for last night's game, the Fever tied things up at halftime, but Atlanta pulled ahead in the second half. The Fever have a home game coming up this Saturday at 3 p.m. They're taking on the New York Liberty. And we are your local TV home for Indiana Fever. Next Tuesday, you can watch the team's matchup with the Connecticut Sun. That starts at 7 o'clock over on our sister station, MeTV. And if you need help finding that game or any of our broadcasts, just scan the QR code on your screen. It'll take you to WTHR.com/fever. Happening now, you can watch art being made in real time. Local artist S. McKee will be spray painting a giant photo box on Monument Circle. Now, the artwork will feature things iconic to the Indianapolis Children's Museum as well as Indy skyline, and it's part of the celebrations for the Children's Museum's 100th birthday. You can watch it happen this afternoon. It's going on now until 4 p.m.